on the tail. I do believe he's green this time. Green flag is up. Slow down the front stretch. We're still green going off now. Walker right now sitting fifth. He's the one standing. He's in the chase one. In the 30 car. Side by side, coming in turn green off the bottom of the second set. Side by side down the front stretch of the turn number one. And the second one, Jennings starts to go. Hard right up, let's try to turn number three. They're all still out front, going to be 3 laps to finish this time around, 5 laps to go. Maybe crossing the halfway mark this time. Maybe crossing the finish line, look to the inside of turns 3 and 4. It's not going to be enough. We're going to cross halfway mark. Third spot, couple looks to reach. He's right now with Gilbert Perez. Rounding out the field in the 21A. Lights are out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going green flag this time off of turn number 4. Here we go. Taking on the front stretch into turn number 1. 44. Here comes Eric Rocky underneath, trying to make the speed car battle. He's got to work at the top of the car still. Side by side, still going to drive race into turn number 3. Around the outside of the racetrack and sneaks around the top spot off the turn number 2. On the outside of this racetrack, I think if you could make that work tonight, we're in Texas Speedway, that is going to be the way to go. Time
and then it's Jerry Walters on the inside of row 3, Shiloh Flanagan, Broadnax, and Marcia Hall rounding out the field. The lights are out, the green flag going to fly. This time off of turn number 4, we're underway with the Pure Stocks. And we are 2 by 2, 3 rows deep still down the backstretch, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be a 3-car battle for that top spot. Looking like Jamie Deere trying to get to the inside of James Parks. Parks and Sandoval, door to door, wheel to wheel off of turn number 4. Who's it going to be at the line? It's going to be Sandoval around the outside. Good run for the 7-car back down into turn number 1. Parks in second. Jamie Deere now third. He's got 3 wide behind him with McGuire, Walters, and Broadnax. Jesse Sandoval leads a freight train of Pure Stocks into turn number 1. Nose to tail. Parks looks to the inside off of 4. It is not going to be enough. Sandoval going to be the leader at the line. But Parks with a good look to the inside as we come back down into turn number 1. Jamie Deere still in the 3rd spot there. He's got his hands full with Jerry Walters. Walters now under fire from Broadnax. Shiloh looks to the inside of turn number 3. Still door to door for the top spot coming off of turn number 4. It's still Sandoval out front, then Parks and Deere second and third. 4th spot is anybody's guess at this point. Give it to Walters coming off the top side of turn number 2. Shiloh Broadnax going to round out the top 5 in the 58 machine. Parks once again looking to the inside of turn number 4. Still not enough. Sandoval leads him at the line. We come halfway home that time, ladies and gentlemen. 4 down and 4 to go. Nose to tail, single file pretty much down the backstretch. The first 3 cars pull away as we come into turn number 3. Parks grabs a tractor tire. Doesn't seem to upset the car too much, but definitely making contact with one of the Ute tires in the bottom of turn number 3. 5 down, 3 to go that time by. Going to be 2 laps left when we come back around in Pure Stock Heat Race number 1. 2 laps to go for Jesse Sandoval. It's David McGuire, not Daniel McGuire in the 4M car. My mistake. David right now sitting in the 6th position. The lead still, the top spot, still the best battle on the racetrack. Here comes Jamie Deere now. Underneath Parks for second as we come into turn number 3. The white flag going to be out this time by. 1 more lap to go for Jesse Sandoval. A good run for the driver in the 7 machine. Sandoval, the Corpus Christi, Texas racer, holding off. James Parks, the 3rd of the 33 JP. Parks going to have 1 more look to the inside. I know it. James going to try to win this thing just as much as anybody. I don't think it's going to be enough. Sandoval going to take the win. Parks in 2nd. Deere in 3rd. Broadnax 4th. And Walters going to round out the top 5. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the 7 of Jesse Sandoval. Holding on. Lights are out once again. 6 cars the field, 8 laps the distance. We are going to be set to go off at turn number 4. The green is out. We're underway. Danielson going to lead the field down into turn number 1. He's door to door with Gonzalez. Look on the outside. Derek Gonzalez going to take the top spot off the outside of turn number 2. Danielson hanging on to that 2nd spot. Mickey Helms up to 3rd. Side by side with Nathan Rahi. Sewell gets the nose taken off a little bit there, coming off of turn number 4. He and Mason Castaneda back in 5th and 6th. It's Gonzalez still leading this thing off atop of turn number 2. Robert Danielson in tow. Bumper to bumper as we come into turn number 3. Gonzalez goes high. Danielson going to look underneath. He'll take the lead off of turn number 4. Robert Danielson leads lap number 2. Gonzalez in 2nd, Helms is 3rd, then it's Sewell, Rahi, and Castaneda, the remainder of the field. I tell you what, Nathan Rahi, your winner last night, struggling here in heat race competition. Going to be starting well back in the pack if he can't make his way up through the field, as is Mason Castaneda and Josh Sewell. All 3 of those cars very, very strong here in the Pure Stock ranks at South Texas Speedway. Struggling here in heat racing. And as I say that, Mason Castaneda going to make it a 2-for-1 deal. Gets around Josh Sewell and Helms. As we come into turn number 3, Castaneda up to 3rd. That was a good lap for the young driver in the 28M machine. Mason now underneath Gonzalez as we come into turn number 1. Castaneda on a tear. A little bit of contact there with the 2 car, but that's what fenders are for. No harm, no foul. As we come back down into turn number 3, Danielson gonna lead this lap here. Looks like lap number 5. 5 down, 3 to go for Robert Danielson. Danielson still your leader off at turn number 2. Mason Castaneda in second. Mickey Helms is third. A good battle for fourth between Sewell and Gonzalez. Sewell going to win the drag race into turn number 3. The leader comes to 2 to go. Still Danielson out front by about 2.5 car lengths down the front boulevard into turn number 1. Castaneda closes that gap considerably on the entry and is going to maintain that gap on the exit. Castaneda faster down the backstretch than Danielson as we come into turn 3. The white flag going to be out this time by Castaneda with 2 more shots at taking the top spot. White flag in the air, 1 more lap to go. Danielson running exactly where he knows he needs to. There's some bumper tag going on all the way through turns 1 and 2. I tell you what, Castaneda doing a great job there. Could have dumped the 87 very easily. Decided not to do it, and it's going to give the win to Robert Danielson. Castaneda going to be in second. Helms will be third. Then Sewell fourth. Rahi fifth. And your early race runner-up, Derek Gonzalez, in the 6th position. Actually, Gonzalez was your early race leader. Anyway, championship with the Pure Stock Division. Sean Ward, John Ramirez, your front row. Gary McDonald, Joshua McCain, row number 2. Chris Dudley and J.C. Paul Jr. make up row number 3. The lights are out. We're going to go green this time off at turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Green flag is out. Oh, and Ramirez, McCain, and McDonald, all 3 tangled up there on the get-go. It looks like everybody going to keep them rolling. We are going to get a yellow flag. We're going to restart this race, ladies and gentlemen. All right, folks. So the 73 John Ramirez going to the back of the pack. We are good. Otherwise, lights are back out. We're going to be going back green this time off at turn number 4. No laps complete. 8 laps to go. Pure Stock Heat race number 3. Going green off of 4. And Ward going to lead the field into turn number 1, driving Tommy Miller's 54 machine this evening. He is followed closely by Joshua McCain and J.C. Paul Jr. They make up the top 3 cars. McDonald in 4th, Ramirez 5th, and Dudley rounds out the field in 6th. We're coming around to complete lap number 1, and Sean Ward out in front. I tell you what, Ward needs to win this heat race so he can start up towards the front of the pack if he wants to try to get that championship out of the hands of James Parks. Parks comes into this evening's competition 1 point ahead after picking up the victory last night in Caliber Collisions. Chase for the championship night number 1. Let's see if AOC Auto Parts night is any kinder to Sean Ward, destroying the rear end of the 889 machine last night. It exploded so violently that it knocked a hole in the case of the rear end. So Ward hopping into Tommy Miller's car. Miller graciously allowing Ward to drive the 54 machine here tonight. The 73 of John Ramirez is off the racetrack. Sean Ward chasing that championship here this evening, trying to make up for ground we lost last night. Back into turn number 3, still McCain in second. A good run for the 8M car. Joshua McCain having a good run here this evening in heat race number 3. J.C. Paul in 3rd spot. Then the 4th spot belongs to Gary McDonald, and the field is rounded out with Chris Dudley in the 112. Here we come one more time, ladies and gentlemen. The 54 of Sean Ward crossing the finish line for the 5th time. Start-finish line, the number 5 time. 5 laps down, 3 laps to go. Good run for the young man out front. Joshua McCain not letting him get away. Only about a car length and a half for the leader right now coming into turn number 3. McCain closes the gap very dramatically on entry. The 2 to go is out in the air. And Ward gaps the field by another car length and a half. Down the front stretch, McCain closes it right back up through the first set of corners. It looks like Ward with a little bit better run that time down the backstretch, but McCain driving the car in much deeper into the corners there. The white flag comes out. 1 more lap to go for Sean Ward. Like I said, Ward really needs to win this heat race if he wants to start up towards the front of the feature and try to defend his Pure Stock Championship. Here comes McCain. The rear end of the 54 machine steps out just a little bit too much, and Joshua McCain able to close the gap and make this a very dramatic finish. McCain now looks to the outside. The checkered flag is going to be out. It's going to go to Sean Ward. A good run for the 8 car. Joshua McCain in second. The 12 car on the outside of row number 4. The lights are out. The 1 to go has been shown. We're going to be going green flag racing this time off of turn number 4. Flanagan making it very close today, swapping engines throughout the afternoon. Got it back out here with the backup motor under the hood, trying to go for that championship this evening. The green flag waves and we're underway. And Whitmire picking right up where he left off last night. Going to take the lead off the top of turn number 2. Chris Rye in second. Third spot is a hotly contested battle with Max Callis and David Shurey. Ryan Rye on the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 4. Going to take over the 5th spot. Hunter Flanagan back to 6th at this point. Flanagan goes topside in turns 1 and 2. Going to try to cut down to the bottom of the racetrack. A good run off the second quarter for the 58 car. Meanwhile, Tanner Whitmire walking the dog on him here in heat race number 1 is your leader by almost a straightaway at the stripe. Second spot belongs to Chris Rye. Third is Max Callis. I tell you what, a good run for Callis in the 148 machine. Coming around a complete lap, number 3, still Whitmire out in front. Rye, Callis, Dave Shurey, and Brian Rye have a great run going on for 4th. They were door to door at the line that time by. Flanagan right now struggling in the 58 machine, still sitting in the 6th position as we cross the halfway mark. 4 down, 4 to go in heat race number 1. And Callis that time very tight through the middle of the corners, goes almost all the way to the wall. David Shurey and Brian Rye unable to close the gap. The track very fast tonight. All the cars flying around South Texas Speedway. It's still Whitmire, Chris Rye first and second, Max Callis in third. 4th spot belongs to Brian Rye. Then it's David Shurey and Hunter Flanagan. Roland Rodriguez and Larry Lewis round out the field. Coming to 2 to go this time around, ladies and gentlemen. Your leader, Tanner Whitmire, with just 2 laps to go here at South Texas Speedway. Whitmire was the winner of the 2017 edition of the South Texas Shootout. Picked up a $5,000 check 1 year ago here at Corpus Christi. Picked up the win last night, looking to grab the win here in the limited modified heat race. The white flag is out, 1 more lap to go. Flanagan getting around David Shurey for the 5th position. Hunter Flanagan now trying to close the gap, but I think it's too little too late to catch up to Brian Rye as your leader, Tanner Whitmire, already back into turn number 3. The checkered flag gonna wave, and Whitmire gonna pick up heat race number 1 for the limited modifieds. Limited of Mr. Ray Shulman. Row number 3 on the inside. The 77 is Cody Beto, and the 90 car, Dustin Butcher. The HEB Manufacturing sponsored number 90 machine on the outside of row number 3. We are missing Jose Garcia. 6 cars out of the 7 scheduled. We take the green flag off of 4. And a good run for Joel Garcia off the outside of the front row. He's going to get around Hector Aguirre, lead the field through turns 1 and 2. Aguirre in second, the 113 Sames Ford sponsored entry. Hanging on to the runner-up spot as we come into turn number 3. Someone who looks much better than they did last night, J.J. Jennings in the 26G. Jennings going to be racing harder than ever, probably trying to look a lot better than he did last evening. Jennings now getting into the back of Ray Shulman just a little bit as we come through turns 1 and 2. Shulman going to lose the spot. JJ gets by on the bottom of the backstretch. Shulman right up on the bumper as we come into turn number 3. Maybe a little bit of payback. I don't know. These guys race hard, but they're all good friends back in the pit area. But it is all business on the racetrack as Jennings now gets crossed up under Hector Aguirre. Your leader, Joel Garcia, has laid the keys on the front desk and is gone, ladies and gentlemen. He is and Cody Beto goes around with Dustin Butcher. Yellow flag coming out, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like a whole bunch of just domino effect right there as J.J. Jennings went for the move on the bottom of the track. Run down the front stretch and just has checked out on the field, hasn't looked back. Going to be your leaders. We take the green flag off of turn 4. Aguirre in second. Jennings is third. Shulman, Beto, and Butcher round out the field. 2 down, 6 to go. Heat race number 2 back under green. Garcia once again leads the field down into turn number 1. Look at Aguirre up on the top side of the racetrack. He's coming under fire from J.J. Jennings. Cody Beto driving like a man on a mission. Underneath Ray Shulman coming into turn number 3. We're nearly 3 wide off the second set of corners as Jennings going to get around Aguirre for second. Here comes Shulman on the underside of Aguirre. Oh, and Jennings hard on the brakes, going to go sideways in turn number 1. Aguirre going around, Butcher with nowhere to go. Yellow flag going to come out. Green flag's back out, ladies and gentlemen. Joel Garcia leads us back down into turn number 1. Ray Shulman and Hector Aguirre door to door through turns 1 and 2. Shulman on the bottom, trying to win the drag race into turn 3. He'll do so. They were dead even until about halfway mark. Here comes Cody Beto now under Aguirre. Beto slides up the racetrack, gonna take over the third spot, but here comes Dustin Butcher. Butcher makes it a 2-for-1 deal in the second set of corners over there. Gets around both Aguirre and Beto. Dustin Butcher charging towards the front. He knows he's got to win if he wants to seal up this championship or at least have a chance at contending. In the chase and would love nothing more than to defend that limited modified championship. Dustin Butcher, your 5-time and defending limited modified champion here at South Texas Speedway. Garcia, smooth as glass through the second set of corners as we come to 2 to go. Joe Garcia by almost a straightaway over Shulman. And then it's Butcher in third. Beto, Jennings, and Aguirre round out the field. Garcia eases the 23 machine into the corner, a little bit hesitant coming in. The car bobbles and then rotates nicely. The white flag is out. Dustin Butcher now getting around Ray Shulman for second spot on the outside. Butcher driving like he's got somewhere to be is now right up on the bumper of Garcia down the backstretch. One more shot at it. The checkered flag going to be in the air this time by Garcia. Bobbles again. Here comes Butcher on the bottom. Checkered flag in the air. Who's it going to be? Joel Garcia wins by a car. Then it's Butcher in second. Shulman in third. Lights are out, ladies and gentlemen. Green flag going to come out this time around. Street stock main event underway. Green is out. Here we go. Nearly 3 wide down the front stretch into turn number 1. Look at Brad Hayes on the bottom. Here comes Adam Perks picking up where he left off last night. Perks gets around Garrett Hayes, and before we're in the corner number 3, Adam Perks out in front. And I gotta bet he's gonna be the man to beat as we're already straight away ahead. And we just completed lap number 1. Adam Perks leads lap number 2, a straightaway advantage over Brad Hayes. Garrett Hayes slow in the 17. Adam Perks toting the left front wheel through turns 1 and 2. The 17 to Garrett Hayes slow at the top of the racetrack. Garrett going to try to limp it off the speedway. Don't know if it's going to happen. Hayes off the racing surface, but I don't know if he's going to be able to clear the exit ramp. Perks still your leader, a straightaway plus over the 5 of Brad Hayes. And it's a 22 of Michael Pesic and the 33 JP of Triton Temple rounding out the field. 4 cars left on the track, but Adam Perks driving like he's beating 500 people right now. Once we take the halfway mark, 6 down, 6 to go. Perks cruising right now, a little bit snug through the middle of turns 1 and 2, but it's not going to matter one single solitary bit. Still well over a straightaway ahead of second spot. Brad Hayes in the 5, not a slow car. Just not able to close that gap, obviously, and catch up there to the 12 machine. Perks once again toting the left front wheel out of turn number 2. The track once again hooked up tonight, much like it was last night. Perks leads one more lap. Looks like lap number 7 that time around. 7 down, 5 to go. Michael Pesic in the 22P, pretty much in no man's land right now. Can't really close the gap on the 5 car of Brad Hayes and hasn't really pulled much further away from Triton Temple. Everybody pretty solid in those positions. Looks like we're going to get 2 to go this time around from Kevin in the flag stand. Adam Perks going to take the 2 to go. Hayes, Pesic, Temple, the remainder of the field. Adam Perks going to come around to take the white flag this time by. Looks to sweep the weekend, I'd say barring catastrophe. This one is his. Perks through turns 1 and 2 for the final time down the backstretch into turn number 3. Going to be looking squarely at double checkered flags. Adam Perks going to take the win here in the Street Stock main event. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the 12 car, Mr. Adam Perks, sweeping the weekend here at South Texas Speedway. Congratulations, brother. Fun fact, I did not see the underside of your car tonight like I did last night over on the other end of the racetrack. Adam, you just kind of walked away from tonight, man. You started on the outside of the second row and you were leading by turn 3.
Man, track is super fast tonight. I'm glad y'all didn't put any water on it. It was perfect for me. I love running hard like that. Man, I'm glad everybody came out tonight. I know there's weather pending, so we're going to try to get this done, and we appreciate everybody coming out again.
Adam, congratulations on a weekend sweep here at South Texas. Y'all give it up one more time. Adam, E-Mod main event on the racetrack. The lights are out. We're going to be going green this time off of 4. The 38L of Eddie Lopez also making the call as the green flag comes out. We head down into turn number 1. Look at McWhorter on the outside. Walker in second. Rahi is third. Villarreal fourth. And now Joshua Sewell rounds out the top 5. We head down into turn number 3. We're going to complete lap number 1 this time by McWhorter. Going to lead it. Walker in second. Rahi is third. Villarreal fourth. Sewell rounding out the top 5 still as we come back into turn number 1. Oh, and Memphis Villarreal slow on the inside of the racetrack. Everybody trying to go around him. Memphis holding his line. Going to try to limp the 30 machine off the racetrack and not going to make it. Looks like the car going to high center on the exit ramp. We are going to get a yellow. Yellow flag going to come out as the 71 of Shane Sturts, also leaving the raceway. Here comes the 17 back out on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Crystal Smith rejoining the field. Oh, and she spins. And she spins out in turn number 2, trying to catch the field. We are going green off of 4. McWhorter going to lead the field down into turn number 1. Crystal Smith going to try to catch him up here. As we go through the race, McWhorter out in front, Walker in second, Rahi third, Weechie and Choppa round out the top 5. Here comes Joshua Sewell, though, trying to get underneath Sam Choppa for that 5th spot. We are wheel to wheel through 3 and 4 with McWhorter and Roy Walker. I tell you what, Walker hungry right now for a win here. Here comes Nathan Rahi as well. Rahi was first coming into last night's competition. And with James Lee picking up the win, that put Nathan Rahi in second place, or Eric Rahi, excuse me, second place in the point standings. Those top 3 cars pretty much nose to tail once again down the front stretch into turn number 1. McWhorter out in front, Walker in second by a nose. Rahi right now with about a car length behind Walker. Walker goes high in turn number 3. Rahi down to the bottom off of 4. Can Eric Rahi take the second spot? Yeah, at the stripe, and that's where it's going to count. McWhorter still out front. A weird hop through the first set of corners for the 10 car. Here we go, 3 wide through turn number 2. Walker going to take the top spot down the backstretch into 3. Rahi wheel to wheel through turn number 3 and off of turn 4. It's going to be Walker out front. Rahi in second. McWhorter is third. Sam Chapa and Josh Sewell round out the top 5 now. We're coming into some lap traffic. The field getting around Ashley Dunker. Down the backstretch. Look at James Lee on the outside after having to start in the back of this main event. Oh, and Weechie goes around in turn number 3. Trying to get the 59 machine fired back up. I don't think it's going to happen. Caution flag going to come out.
Back.
6 laps complete, ladies and gentlemen. Roy Walker, your leader. Eric Rahi choosing the inside. The outside there belongs to Dwayne McWhorter. Sam Chapa and James Lee, your feature winner last night and current point leader, round out the top 5. Here comes Lee getting around Chapa on the start. Walker going to lead us back into turn number 1. The 9 car on a rail tonight. James Lee trying to split the difference there. Look to the middle of Dwayne McWhorter and Rahi down the backstretch. It's not going to be enough. We come off of turn number 4. Walker leads lap number 7. Then McWhorter and Rahi second and third. James Lee on the outside looking in, trying to get around those guys as we come back into turns 1 and 2. Lee going to get around Rahi on the out. Oh, we got a big pile up over in turn number 1. Brianna Weechie slowed down. Looks like Sam Chapa comes to a stop. Chapa gets the 14 rolling once again. Limited late model is going to be coming up next for their main event. Don't forget, folks, hot chocolate, coffee, 1 token apiece at the concession stand. Green flag back out. We're back underway. Walker once again leads us down into turn number 1. Side by side for second spot. Rahi on the bottom. McWhorter liking that top side. He's going to hang on to second. Down the back stretch. James Lee trying to close up there now, making a 3-car battle for second. He's around Rahi on the outside. There's contact there for sure. James Lee charging hard towards the front after picking up the win last night. Gonna try to run down Roy Walker in the 9 car. I'd say he's gonna do it coming into turn number 3. The 563, a rocket ship around the racetrack. James Lee, your winner last night, definitely the fastest car on the racetrack right now as he closes the gap even more coming off of turn number 2. Looks like we're going to be coming to 10 down, 10 to go. We are halfway home this time by in the E-Mod main event. Walker still your leader, Lee in second. Then Rahi, McWhorter, and Perez round out the top 5. Sturks, Smith, Weechie, Lopez, and Dunker round out the field. James Lee has now closed the gap to next to nothing. We come down into turn number 3, bumper to bumper for the top spot. Lee, your point leader. Walker would really love to get a win here. And Roy Walker hard into the outside wall, all the way down the front stretch. Keeps the car rolling. Lee slides up and takes the line away, though. James Lee, now your race leader. Roy Walker down to the bottom of turn number 4, trying to get up around James Lee and retake the top spot. I've got to think that something going to be awry on the handling of the 9W car. Now, that was a good smack and rode the wall all the way down the front stretch. Lee, Walker, Rahi, Perez, and McWhorter now make up the top 5 in that order. I think James Lee might be walking away with this one. We've got 14 laps down and 6 to go. And James Lee going to stretch the legs out on the old 563 machine, see if he can't pull away another win here, making it 2 for 2 in the chase for the championship. That might seal the deal if he can get that done this weekend. Perez now getting around Rahi for third. Gilbert Perez up to third in the 3 car. And Eric Rahi back to fourth. Dwayne McWhorter now rounding out the top 5. Nathan Sturch, Crystal Smith, and Brianna Weechie, as well as Ashley Dunker, round out the field. Your leader's putting a lap on the 21A of Dunkirk. James Lee gets around. Roy Walker gets around as well. Those top two cars with a straightaway advantage over third spot. The battle on the racetrack is the one for third. With Eric Rahi and Gilbert Perez, they were side by side down the backstretch. Perez opens it up a little bit down the front side here. Going to be 2 to go this time around for James Lee, the 563 machine. Almost a straightaway advantage over Roy Walker. Going to be coming to the white flag this time around. James Lee, the 563, still your leader, almost a straightaway advantage. Over second spot, Roy Walker. Then it's a straightaway plus back to Gilbert Perez in third. Eric Rahi, Dwayne McWhorter round out the top 5. Lee already back down the backstretch into turn number 3 for the final time. The double checker flag's gun away for the 563. James Lee going to make it 2 for 2 here on the weekend. In the 13 machine. Green flag comes out, ladies and gentlemen. We are underway, and Matt Fox with a great start off the outside of the front row. Blows the doors off the 9 car of Pete Arcee as we come into turn number 1. And it looks like we're going to reel that one back. Kevin wants a little bit better start, and I can't say that I blame him. Oh, a black flag. Getting to choose either inside or outside. Looks like we may redo this one single file. The lights are out. We're going to get the green this time off of 4. Here we go. Fox in the 53X going to lead the field once again through turns 1 and 2. Dylan Mosley way out of shape in the 38M machine. Going to lose a lot of ground on Awald. Awald still in second spot, trying to run down the leader. Maybe overdriving the car just a little bit as Fox going to pull away to almost a straightaway advantage. Oh, and Mosley with trouble in the 38M. Dylan going to try to get the 38 car down to the bottom of the track, trying to get it back in gear. Finds something, gets it back underway. Fox still far and away the fastest car on the racetrack. Awald in second. Marks is third. Farquhar and Arcee round out the top 5, and Mosley rounds out the field. Going to be coming halfway home this time around, I do believe, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, there it is. 5 down, 5 to go for Matt Fox. Awald is second. Howie Marks in third. Dakota Farquhar, Pete Arcee, 4th and 5th. Dylan Mosley rounding out the field in the 38M. 6 down and 4 to go this time by. Coming off of turn number 4 once again. Still Fox out in front. I tell you what, 5 points the difference in the point standings right now. Fox really needs a win tonight and on the final race of the season, which is going to be on December 1st. And he needs some bad luck to come to the 17 car. Fox really needs some cards to fall into play here as we get 2 to go. He's about to pull one of them tonight. I think if he can hang on for these last couple of laps, this is his race to lose. Matt Fox, far and away, the fastest car on the racetrack at this point. Going to be coming into turn number 3 once again. We'll be looking squarely at the white flag this time by. It'll be 1 lap left to go for Matt Fox. As Awald dealing with the 38 of Dylan Mosley now. It's a straightaway back to Awald in second spot. Fox coming into turn 3 for the final time. The double checker flag's going to be waving, and Matt Fox going to get the win here in the limited late model feature. Awald in second. Howie Marks going to have a good run in third. Limited modified main event getting ready to take the green flag off of turn number 4. of turn number 1. Joel Garcia way out of shape on the top side of turn 2. Look at Ray Shulman split the difference, and Hunter Flanagan goes around the bottom of turn number 2. Flanagan trying to get the 58 rolling. He gets back out on the racetrack. That's not going to help his chances for the championship any whatsoever. Your leader going to be Tanner Whitmire, Joel Garcia in second. Dustin Butcher, your 5-time and defending champion, once again driving like he's got an appointment somewhere that he's late for. Sitting in third spot right now. Chris Rye is fourth. Looks like Max Callis in fifth. We were 3 wide briefly there. 6, 7, and 8 on the racetrack. Ryan Rye, Ray Shulman, and J.J. Jennings putting on that show for us. Cody Beto in ninth. And David Shurey rounds out the top 10. Whitmire still out front, about 3 car lengths ahead of Joel Garcia. Hunter Flanagan in danger of going a lap down here in the early stages of the race. The current points leader struggling here on championship chase night number 2. Tanner Whitmire leads lap number 3. Garcia, Butcher, Chris Ryan, Max Callis McDonald. A heck of a run for the young man out of McAllen, Texas in the 148 machine. Oh, Hunter up into the wall. Hunter Flanagan in the wall at the top of turn number 3. Cody Beto and David Shurey. And then it's Roland Rodriguez, Hector Aguirre, Larry Lewis, and Jose Garcia. We are trying to see if Hunter Flanagan, your point leader, going to be coming back out on the racetrack. The 1 to go has been shown. The lights are out. Hunter probably going to be joining us in just a moment. The green flag back out. Whitmire leads the field down the backstretch. Joel Garcia there in tow in second spot. Butcher is third. Look at Max Callis up to fourth. Callis on a roll in the 148 machine this evening. Dustin Butcher going to put a move on Joel Garcia. Butcher up to the runner-up spot. Here comes Callis on the bottom of the racetrack off of 2. Max Callis McDonald to the third spot. Joel Garcia back to fourth. Chris Rye. Oh, and Rye going to get into the back of Garcia. And Joel Garcia going to go spinning in turn number 3. Would love to do that as well. Whitmire, of course, your South Texas Shootout champion in 2017. Picked up a $5,000 check for the effort. And would love to grab a W here as well on Saturday night at South Texas Speedway. The green flag back out. We're back underway. 5 laps complete, 15 to go. Butcher top shelf through turns 1 and 2. We're going to pile them up in turn number 1. J.J. Jennings involved, Ray Shulman involved. Several other cars dominoing there. Looks like Cody Beto going to leave the racetrack. Yellow flag coming out once again. Now, and with the point leader off the racetrack, Beto needs every spot he can pick up to try to chase his way to the championship here in 2018. Your 5-time and defending points champion in the chase, Dustin Butcher in second spot right now. Everybody, however, running down the Western Flyer 101 of Tanner Whitmire. The green flag back out. We are back underway. 5 down, 15 to go. Green flags back out. We're back underway. Tanner Whitmire once again leading the field into turn number 1. Dustin Butcher not quite the restart he wanted. Joel Garcia there in third. Here comes Brian Rye on the bottom of turn number 2. And Jose Garcia around in turn 2. Yellow flag coming back out. Green flag back out once again, ladies and gentlemen. The race has been shortened to 15 laps. Tanner Whitmire, your leader, back into turn number 1. Dustin Butcher in second spot. Good battle for third already as we come off of turn number 2. Brian Rye looking to the inside, down the backstretch. Joel Garcia up alongside the wall. Here comes Rye to take over the third spot. Garcia washes wide in turns 3 and 4. Max Callis off the racetrack. David Shurey taking the scenic route through the infield, as is the 4 car of Chris Rye. We are still green. Everybody keeps it rolling. Your leader still the 101, Tanner Whitmire. The Western Flyer Racing chassis has come uncorked. We have opened up the taps and we are flying down the backstretch. Chris Rye going to leave the surface in the $4 car. Still green here in the limited modified main event. Whitmire, Butcher, Brian Rye, Ray Shulman, and Roland Rodriguez, your top 5. Cody Beto and Hector Aguirre got a good battle going on for the 6th spot. Beto on the bottom of the track in turn number 2, trying to get around Aguirre for that 6th position. Tanner Whitmire about a straightaway advantage over Dustin Butcher. Butcher, the highest chase car right now on the racetrack. Butcher really needs to do well tonight and in the next race to get up there and try to steal that 6th consecutive limited modified points championship here at South Texas Speedway. Whitmire through turns 3 and 4 once again. Going to be closing in on some lap traffic. Looks like Dustin Butcher just broke the 90 car slow at the top of turn 4. A lot of attrition here in the limited modified feature. Green flag back out. We are back underway. Once again, 10 laps complete. 5 laps to go here in the limited modified main event. Tanner Whitmire, your leader, but look at the run for Brian Rye. Alpha turn number 2. Closes the gap coming into turn 3. Whitmire rotate. Oh, and Shurey into the tire wall at top of turn number 3. And Larry Lewis as well. Red flag coming out on the speedway, ladies and gentlemen. Larry Lewis up there at the top of turn 3, as well as David Shurey. The window net already down on the 95 car, so that's a good sign. Looks like yellow flag conditions coming back to the speedway, ladies and gentlemen. And Cody Beto. The running order right now, once again, a green-white checker finish here for the limited modified feature. Green flag is going to be out this time, ladies and gentlemen. We're back underway. A green-white checker finish as Tanner Whitmire leads the field back into turn number 1. Brian Rye in second spot. Ray Shulman in third. Roland Rodriguez trying to get around. Hector Aguirre there in 5th, and Cody Beto rounds out the field in 6th. The white flag out this time by for Whitmire. One more lap to go around South Texas Speedway. Whitmire off at turn 2 for the final time down the backstretch. Brian Rye going to have one more look to the inside. I don't think it's going to be enough. Whitmire going to take the double checker flags. He'll grab the win here on Saturday night at South Texas Speedway. Ryan second, Shulman third, Rodriguez, Aguirre, and Beto in 6th. Marcia Hall and Derek Gonzalez and John Ramirez getting ready to take the green flag this time off of turn number 4. Sandoval and Danielson out front. Green flag's out. We're underway. And Danielson, a great jump off the outside. The Bernie, Texas racer, leads the field into turn number 1. James Parks slicing and dicing through the field. He's up to 3rd. He gets around Sean Ward in the 54 machine. Jesse Sandoval in 2nd spot. Parks is now 3rd. There's that rut we were talking about in turn number 3. Parks grabbing all of it. Down the front boulevard back into turn number 1. Danielson out front. Would love to get a win here at South Texas Speedway this year. Sandoval in 2nd. Parks is 3rd. McCain in 4th. Good battle for the 5th spot. Give it to Mason Castaneda coming into turn number 3. Good racing. Shiloh Broadnax goes around on the front stretch. Good job to all those drivers splitting the difference, getting around the 58 car. Shiloh gets it back out onto the front stretch. Mason Castaneda, Mickey Helms, Jamie Deere, and Shiloh Broadnax, as well as J.C. Paul round out the top 10. There comes Marcia Hall back out on the racetrack. The lights are out. We're going green off of 4. And Parks nearly putting Sandoval into the wall down the front stretch. Sandoval going to get back around Parks on the outside of turn number 2. Danielson going to pull away just a little bit, a couple of car lengths ahead. Shiloh Broadnax slow down the backstretch. Looks like the 58 machine going to make the hard right turn off the speedway. Broadnax back to the pit area. Danielson still out front in the 87. Sandoval in 2nd. Parks is 3rd. Castaneda now 4th. And Sean Ward rounds out the top 5. And Castaneda, a little bit of a love tap there on the 33 JP. Parks into the back of Sandoval, pushing him through turns 3 and 4. Everybody still in the same position. Your top 5 looks like this as Mason Castaneda looks underneath James Parks for 3rd off of turn 2. It's Danielson, Sandoval, Parks, then Castaneda, then Ward, your top 5. Here comes Castaneda on the bottom of the racetrack trying to make it a 2-for-1 deal off of turn 4. Not going to be enough, but he'll take 3rd spot down the front stretch. Parks going to look back underneath Castaneda for that 3rd spot. The leader's going to be closing on some lap traffic here soon. Robert Danielson coming up onto the 73 of John Ramirez through turns 3 and 4. Danielson going to choose the bottom. The 87 steps out just a little bit. Here comes Danielson, gets around. Sandoval goes around. Mason Castaneda, all your top 5, clearing the 73 of John Ramirez. Marcia Hall going to be the next to fall victim to the leaders. Marcia Hall going down a lap. Mason Castaneda underneath. Sandoval off of turn number 4. Castaneda up to 2nd. Mason on a roll here. And Marcia Hall into the back of the 54. Sean Ward with a great save down the front stretch. Danielson and Castaneda bumping bumpers there as we come into turn number 3. A little bit of a shot in the shorts there on the 87. Everybody still clean and green down the front boulevard. Your top 5 still look like this. It's Danielson, Castaneda, Sandoval, Parks, and Ward. Then it's Josh McCain in 6th spot, Mickey Helms in 7th. Jamie Deere, last night's feature winner Nathan Rahi, and J.C. Paul round out the top 10. Your top car in the chase right now, I do believe, is the 33 JP of James Parks. Parks is your point leader. The leader in the chase, Robert Danielson. I'm pulling my points up here real quick. Yep, Robert Danielson right now 3rd in the point standings overall. My mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Danielson still your leader through turns 3 and 4. Castaneda right there in 2nd spot. Not a car in the chase for the championship. Looks like halfway home, folks. 10 down, 10 to go. Danielson still out front by literally inches over Mason Castaneda. Again, bumper tag coming into turn 3. Castaneda looks to the bottom. Is it going to be enough? Yeah, Castaneda slides up, takes the line away from Danielson. Mason Castaneda now out front. The fastest car on the racetrack for sure. Gets around the 87 machine. Going to be your leader coming into turn number 3. What a move on the west end of the racetrack. Set Danielson up nicely. Castaneda started, I believe, 6th on the feature. And has worked his way up to the front. Now holds the top spot. Parks gets around Sandoval for 3rd spot. Jesse Sandoval back to 4th. Sean Ward in 5th. 3 of the top 5 cars in the chase for the championship. The pure stock chase gonna come down to the wire. Danielson in 2nd. Parks is 3rd and Ward in 5th. All 3 of those cars in the chase for the pure stock points championship. Your leader Mason Castaneda putting another lap on the 20 machine of Marcia Hall. Danielson gets around as well. Danielson trying to keep a lap car in between himself and James Parks. Danielson right now 7 points out of the top of the standing. Sean Ward just 1 point out of the lead in 2nd spot. Looks like lap number 16 going to be complete this time by your leader Mason Castaneda on cruise control around the top side of the racetrack. About 4 car lengths separate himself and Robert Danielson. And then it's about 2 car lengths back to James Parks. Sean Ward gets around Jesse Sandoval for 4th. So 3 of the championship chase cars right now in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the racetrack. The one with the most to lose, the 33 JP of James Parks. Oh, and Sandoval's hood coming up on the 7 machine. That's going to make things interesting in the cockpit of that race car. Your leader going to be coming to 2 to go, this time by at the flag stand. 2 laps to go for Mason Castaneda. Danielson still hanging on to that 2nd spot. James Parks in 3rd, Sean Ward 4th. Sandoval right now rounding out the top 5. The battle, the one for 2nd spot on the racetrack. Parks comes into turn number 3. The white flag going to be out this time around. Parks looks to the bottom of Danielson off of 4. Not going to be enough. Danielson still with the 2nd spot. Into turn 1 for the final time. James Parks going to be looking down to the bottom of the racetrack once again off of turn number 2. Mason Castaneda, your leader, already coming into turn 3. Here comes Parks. One more look to the inside of Robert Danielson. Is Parks going to have a good enough run off of 4? No. The win goes to Castaneda. 2nd spot goes to Danielson. 3rd spot will be Parks. I need you to sit down in front of the press box, please. Green flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. Buchanan leads the field down into turn number 1. They're nearly 3 wide as Wyman going to take the lead out of turn number 2. Here comes Parcellis on the outside. The 72P had a good run last night, led several laps, unfortunately looping it down to the bottom of turn number 2. Nearly 3 wide off the 4th corner once again. Parcellis going to lead lap number 1. Wyman in the 2nd spot there on the inside in the 50W. Carl Buchanan, last night's feature winner, on the outside looking in the 3rd spot. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Wyman once again on the inside has 2 feature victories here in bomber competition in 2018 at South Texas Speedway. But Parcellis going to lead lap number 2. Parcellis got that middle to the top side of the track rolling there. The 72P walking away from the rest of the field. Wyman going to try to close the gap coming into turn number 3, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Parcellis takes a wild ride through the middle of the corner there. That rut in turn number 3 upsets the car a little bit, but doesn't seem to be enough. Parcellis still nice and smooth through turns 1 and 2. Wyman now closing. Oh, and something going wrong in the 72P. Bad luck strikes again for Parcellis. And the 72 going to stop at the top of turn number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, they're side by side off of turn number 4. Wyman going to win the drag race into turn number 1. Wyman still your leader. Out in front. Buchanan looking to the inside. Buchanan once again was your feature winner last night. A little bit sideways off of turn number 2. About a 2-car length advantage coming into turn number 3. Wyman slow on the entry. Buchanan now side by side off of turn number 4. They're going to make it a show. Coming halfway home, ladies and gentlemen. 4 down and 4 to go. Or 5 down and 5 to go. Excuse me. Again, Buchanan a little bit sideways off of turn number 2, trying to run down the 50W into turn 3. And Buchanan with a wild ride at the bottom of turn number 4. Wyman going to open it up to about a 4-car length advantage down the front stretch into turn 1. Wyman still your leader, ladies and gentlemen, off of turn number 2. Buchanan trying to run him down, but I don't think it's going to be a sweep for the 2-car this weekend. Almost a straightaway now. Separates the 2 as they come into turn 3. Wyman going around that character spot there in turn number 3, and Buchanan straight through the middle of it as the white flag comes out. 1 more lap to go. 1 more lap for Robert Wyman. Going to make it 3 wins here in 2018 in bomber competition if he can hang on for about half of a lap. Down the backstretch for the final time. Into turn number 3. We are going to conclude the night here at South Texas Speedway with a win from Robert Wyman in the 50W machine.